Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Belinda here from Visualized NZ, and it's time for Trashcraft Tuesday. So I was thinking about today's video as I was falling asleep last night and thinking, what am I going to do for this? And had a few ideas run through my head, and one of them is what I'm going to do for you today. So we're at a time of year when typically we end up with lots of gift wrap paper left over. So I've grabbed out some that was left over from Secret Santa from my husband's work, and people give Christmas cards, and you might keep the fronts of the cards to use for different purposes, but then you've got the backs of cards, which is pretty good cardstock generally. And so I'm going to use those as well. So combining two things, leftover gift wrap paper or used gift wrap paper and the backs of cards. So this is a Christmas based episode, but it applies to any time of year. It could be any gift wrap, it could be any card stock, in back of any types of cards. So let's get on with it, shall we? So, oops, it's stuck to my glue book here. So first I'm going to cover this in some gel medium. I have already prepared a number of these ahead of time so that the glue had time to dry. So I thought I'd just do this one gluing one on camera. So I've used glue stick and I've used the gel medium, and I only turn to the gel medium because I've got like half a glue stick left and then I'm out. So I didn't want to completely use up my glue stick on doing this, and this was sitting on my desk, so I thought I would go ahead and use this. So applying the glue, you want a really good coating. Oops, I've got a cat here and there. That won't matter, I think. You don't want any parts lifting up because my plan is to die cut these. So you want to make sure it adheres really well without any gaps there that are going to shift away from the backing. And another tip is to put your glue or adhesive, whatever you're using, on the side that's got writing. So if somebody's written in the card, use that as the side to put under your whatever you're sticking to it, the paper that you're sticking to it. And bear in mind, if the paper that you're using, the wrapping paper, is see-through, then you will be able to see the writing. So just kind of mix and match and judge it according to what's going to work for you. Alright, so I've already chosen a piece of this paper that this will fit on. I'm just going to lay it down there. Another tip is to not have any tape anywhere on the paper that you're laying down. You don't want any sticky tape in sight because that's going to create a problem for your die cut machine. And if you don't have a die cut machine, then you could totally hand cut out some shapes, create your own unique designs. You don't have to have a die cut machine, but I have a die cut machine, and so that's what I'm going to use today. Right. Oops. Just got a bit of spillage there on the glue from squeezing it out, and I like to give it a really good press down to get any bubbles out of the paper, just so that it's fully adhered. So when I die cut it, there's not pieces that are coming apart. I hope you can hear me okay. I feel I'm a little blocked up at the moment. I haven't coughed for a few hours, but my nose has definitely been running, and now I feel like I can't breathe properly. And I think that's probably coming out in my voice a little bit. Yeah, so just giving that a good smooth out, and then trimming around to take off that excess. And I like to trim it just so I can see where the edges are, so I don't end up die cutting a part that is not on the cardstock. I'm just going to whip around this, and then we'll switch to the ones that I've already done, and hopefully the adhesive is dry on, because you want the adhesive, whether it be glue stick or gel medium or whatever you've used, to be dry before you run it through the die cut machine. Now, I'm quite cold now too. I've just been holding a wet cat. So I'm feeling a little damp and cold. It's raining and quite cold today. And she wanted to come back for cuddles. I put her on the couch and it's like, I've got to work. And then she went and had some biscuits and was coming back. And it's like, no, darling. I've got to do some work. I've got to do my video. Right, so I am pulling out my Christmas themed dies here. I won't be using all of them. I'm just going to pull out what I see and put the rest back in here. So what have we got? So I keep my dies in these little boxes that I've then labelled the theme on. So I've got different sized Christmas trees here. I've got a wreath. This is actually a gnome. Probably won't use him today. There's another Christmas tree. That's the gnome's hands, and this is a little present that the gnome holds. This is the base of Christmas tree. I'm probably not going to use that. This is another Christmas tree made up of stars. I might use that. A bauble, some holly and mistletoe. Not sure I'll use that, but I'll leave it out. And then some berries, and I probably won't use the berries. So just narrowing down what I've got sort of cluttering my desk. Now this is the one that I've just glued, so I'm going to pop it aside so I don't accidentally run it through the machine and get all gluey on my dies, because that wouldn't be fun. So I've got my Cuttlebug here. I've had it for a number of years, and gosh, it is very, very dusty and under the handle there. So open it up, and I've got my plates. So my A and my C plate, and then my B plate, which is very well used. And you may be able to see that I've accidentally used my dies up the wrong way from time to time. So this is all cut into. And that's okay. It still works fine. Right, so this is the first one that I covered. And this is the one with the glue stick. So I'm going to think about... I'm not sure that I'll use the biggest tree. Maybe these are designed to layer up these trees. So what I like to do is use washi tape to hold the dies in place. And hopefully I'm in frame. Maybe I need to move up a little bit. So that they don't move around. And I can, if they don't cut properly the first time, I can run it through again and get the same exact spot. So just a little bit of washi just to hold it in place. And hopefully the washi's not going to damage the wrapping paper. I'll try a bauble on here. I probably will need my pokey tool, so I'll just grab that out. Sorry for reaching, I had forgotten to grab that out. So another bit of tape. And we want to try this tree. And I'm going to fill up the whole thing as much as possible, because why not? Rather than do lots of different passes, I might as well do as much as I can in one run through. We haven't got room for the wreath. Nope. So if we've got room for perhaps the two smallest trees. So I haven't got a huge selection of dies to work with for Christmas, but that's okay. It'll be enough to give everyone the idea. So here we go, just a few more bits of washi just to make sure. And I'm using a washi that I really don't use any other time. It's a Valentine's Day one, not one I bought specifically. It was part of a bundle. Right, so this is going to go in there with the cutting side up for my machine. Some machines it's cutting side down, so just whatever your machine works, however it works is the way to do it. Oh, bit of effort. Pushing through, and then I'm going to run it back the other way. There we go. And it looks like it's cut nicely. So let's peel everything up. So it looks like the tape's coming off okay. And then I just put this tape on the edge of my desk so I can use it again for the next one instead of grabbing a new piece. So there we've got a cute little tree. And because we backed it with cardstock, it's got a reasonable stability. If it was just the wrapping paper, it would be very, very thin and tear easily. So that's why I've backed it onto the backs of the cards, and it's a great use for the backs of those cards as well. So hitting a couple of different trash items. And this paper, this decorative paper I'm using, it was completely torn, scrunched up, balled up, really was a mess. So just to show you too that even if your paper is not in the best shape, it's still totally usable. Right, this has got some fiddly little bits that need to pop out. A little spirally bit here. Just a little bit fiddly. So I thought this would be a perfect thing to bring to you at this stage so that you can collect up your wrapping paper from Christmas Day or birthdays or whenever and give it a purple view. See, even that is super cute. I love a lot of the bits that come out of dies. Super usable as well. And then there's just this wee bit that needs to be popped out. Whoops, without poking myself with the sharp tool. And there's our little bauble. I mean, how super cute. Right, so that's those two done. And this tree provides some stars as well, which is really nice. The bits that get poked out. In fact, one stuck to my cutting mat, the plate. You can see this. It's got the star from this tree stuck there. So we've got that little star as well we can use on something. And there's another star there, and then there's just a random bit of shape. And a teeny tiny, tiny little star. So tiny. Can you see that? It's tiny. And then there's this slightly bigger one. Super cute. And they'd look really good saved up in like a shaker type card as well, if you didn't want to glue them down to anything because they're so tiny. Just save them up in a little pill bottle or container or something, and then add them to a shaker. So there's quite a few stars in here. Lots of tiny little bits, and then there's some that are just random shapes that we don't want to keep because they're nothing. So I'm just making sure to save these wee stars. And I'm doing this on camera because I want you to see the result afterwards. But I won't do it on all of them because I think you'd find that quite boring. it does get tedious doing it, but it's so worthwhile. Oops. Come back here, star. Right, another bit of just random shape, another random shape. And some more stars. There's quite a nice star. Nice sized. Am I in frame? I can't even see if I'm in frame. Yep, there we go. Right, 2 more stars. That one and that one. And there's a little star tree, star Christmas tree. And then, oops, there's another star ran away on me. Right, just get rid of these pieces. Oops, just reorganize my desk. Things are running away here, there and everywhere. Right, so just got these 2 trees at the bottom to remove. Here's one. And this is what I've got left. And I'm not going to throw it away yet. I didn't bring all my other dies through, but there's places here where I could perhaps cut out some other things. So I'm just going to pop it aside, and then I might be able to throw it through with some other types of dies that will fit. So we've got these cute trees, and if they were different colours, I mean, even, yeah, it doesn't matter that they're not different colours. They can still be layered up and create something really cool. So imagine some glitter along the edge, or some white Posca pen or something like that. Would be super sweet. So let's go for another one. One that's got the gel medium on it. So let's go again. This time I might do a wreath. And I'm going to do it around this girl. The centre is a waist bit, but if I have her in the middle, then I might be able to use her for something else. She's a little girl elf. Let's try some of these holly and mistletoe, since we haven't tried those. Okay, maybe another one of these baubles. And let's go I'm just wondering about getting this elf's face. I guess sideways won't matter. It's got the little Santa's Workshop sign in it, which I think is quite cute. So I'm just trying to work with the design a little bit, so I don't get things that look a bit off or weird. And then if we can get Santa's, the word Santa in there. Right, so let's run this through, and I'm not sure if it's going to go through all at once. It might be a bit tall. Oh, it might just go through all at once. So these curl, if you're not familiar, these curl when you put them through with the pressure. I don't know if you can see the curve in that. So every time I use it, I switch it around the other way and use it the other way, and that keeps it balanced, so it will generally flatten out if you're doing it one way then the other. Eventually I'll have to use, I've got a set of plates in reserve, so eventually I will have to use one or 2 of the ones. Right, so I've put that right through, so I'm going to have to grab it again and put it through rather than reversing it, because it's already popped out. because it goes right to the end. Here we go. Let's see how this one's turned out. Hopefully I'm not too close up to the camera for this. Right, they've all cut nicely, which is good. So we'll take out these trees first. Just being careful with the washi tape that I don't damage the paper. So there's one part of the tree. Oops, that one has lifted a bit, but that's okay. I mean, this paper was already well compromised. But the gel medium's working well. So there we've got little, isn't that cute? I think that's adorable. And you could just use one part if you wanted to use just one part, if you had these dies, but this is just what I'm working with. Right, so put it on the plate so you might be able to see it a bit better. So there's that one. And I think these are actually designed to go on the wreath. I think these are supposed to be layered up. So that's really nice. I like those. Let's take the wreath off. The wreath has got a number of things that need to be poked out, so you'll need to bear with me for a little bit. Oops, I did just rip the paper. That's okay, it was on a bit in between. So this is the center of the wreath die, that's waste. So in itself, because of where I've positioned it, it makes a cute little element. And then it's got these little bits cut out of the holly berries around the edge, which just make it more interesting. So I always keep those middles. I thought this had more to poke out, but actually, looking at it, I don't think there is. So you won't need to watch me mess around. So just being careful with this one. Get in with my pokey tool underneath and help lift without bending it too much. If you can see that, just running it along. Some dies are so intricate that they are hard to get out without damaging. So I like to use like a pin or a needle basically as the pokey tool. Just getting in the little channel between the cutting edges and helping to lift out your piece that you've cut. Here we go, and there we've got our little wreath. Hopefully you can see that okay. It's quite pale on that background. Don't know if I've got anything to hand that I can put it on to show you better. Maybe my hand. See? And then these pieces I think are pretty much from the same set and designed to layer up around the edge to add dimension, like so. But of course you can do them different colours and things, but fun all on their own. So we've got our wreath and our little foliage bits, and then we've got our bauble here. Working around it, popping it out, and then again got to get the spiral out and these two little bits at the top where the bow is. Sorry, I know I've gone completely quiet. I just feel like it's a real effort to talk at the moment. Oops, getting it all caught, stuck in there. There we go. So here's our little swirly curly bit, which is super cute and fun to embellish something with. And here's our bauble. So super cute. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and cut out the rest of what I've got here, and then I'm going to pop back and show you the results rather than sit you through this process, because you've seen me do it, you know, a few times now, from the laying it out, the cutting of it, and then the detaching from the die. So I'll be back very soon and show you what I've got done from the rest of the session. So see you in a sec. Okay, I am back. It didn't take me too long to whip through those. So these are the bits that I've got left over, which I may go back through and get out some of the larger sections that are still intact with some smaller dies. But let's have a look at what we've got. So we've got the ones that I did with you while I was filming. And this cute little Christmas tree bits that get laid up. And these ones, that's the first one I did, I think, with you guys. Our little baubles. So what you can do, if you feel so inclined, is with these ones with the spiral cutouts, you can take one that's printed in a different colour, printed, as in cut out, and then glue that in the gap if you want that sort of look. So I do that sometimes if I'm feeling in that mood. Otherwise these are really pretty on their own. Or you can mix and match. And again, you can put these in the middle of, like if I had a wreath in a different colour, you could go ahead and put that in the middle of a different coloured wreath surround to make a cool different picture. So they're the ones that I did with you on camera. So now let's look at the ones that I went ahead and did off camera. So, oh, and I forgot these little ones that I did on camera, the little holly and mistletoe. So we've got another wreath here with the centre. So I positioned it so that I had the centre with Santa and his reindeer, so I can use that. And this green wreath is really nice. I did also grab out some of my other types of dies. So I brought out some sort of food and drink related ones. So this is an oven glove. So using the Christmas paper, you can turn things that aren't necessarily Christmassy into more of a Christmas motif. So there's a little ice cream sundae. This one's really nice. I like this one. It's a cup with hearts coming out. So you also get the hearts that come out of those bits there. So I've got a couple of hearts from that one. What else have I got here in the food and drink line? This, another one of those little cocktails. This teapot with the heart cup is really sweet. Another oven glove. And I think that's about it for the food and drink. So just, you know, have a play around. They don't need to be Christmas dies if you don't have any Christmas specific dies. So that's those ones. Then I did some animal ones. So we've got this bunny and this bunny. So two different types of bunny. This one's holding a flower and this one's got the spiral cutouts. And then this is a wee cat die that I received as a freebie. And it comes with a wee bow tie. So again, I've cut it out of two different colour papers. And I can put the different colour die from the opposite paper on there. I thought originally when it arrived that it was a butterfly because it was a little freebie, but then when I cut it out, first time using it today, I realised it's actually a bow tie, so that's cute. Then I've got a 2-layer tree here. I only had room enough to do 2 layers. So there's a cute smaller tree. And then I had this green one, which is the one I glued on camera. Got the 3-layer Christmas tree, and then there's another little curly pull out. So in very short time, I've got all these wonderful die cuts to use. I probably won't get through them all this Christmas, since we're now like, I don't know, what is it? It's Tuesday today, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Christmas Day, Sunday. So 5 days, I'm probably not going to get these used. But they'll go away in my container of die cuts to be used for next Christmas. So there we go. I hope you really enjoyed this Trashcraft Tuesday episode, and that it's given you some ideas on what you can do with your wrapping paper and the backs of those cards that we get at Christmas time. Thanks for joining me, and if I don't see you again before Christmas, Merry Christmas, but I will be back with more videos this week, so stay tuned if you've got a few moments to spend watching them. Okay, thanks for joining me. Bye for now.